Ringba, they be the king high. Now, what y'all won't do? Wanna be ballers, big shot paper callers.
Welcome to the Paper Caller Show. Today we have Anthony Paluzzi, the CEO of PALO Media and the founder of the Caller Meetup. He's based out of Boston. His company was featured in Inc. 500's fastest growing companies in the United States, and he is an absolute leader in the paper call space. We're thankful to have him on the show today. Thank you for joining us, Anthony.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for having me. And thank you for those kind words.
So for those of you who don't know, Anthony runs a paper call network. He's got a team out there in Boston. They do great things. They work in a bunch of different verticals. And what we like about them is the fact that they provide one-on-one support with people and really do community outreach to help grow the industry in general. And so I think that's a great segue to hop in. Let's go back to the beginning and tell us how you actually got involved in the paper call space.
Cool. Yeah, I'd be happy to. So I started in pay-per call in 2010. I worked for a cable company before I started in pay-per call, doing local marketing. And one of the biggest tasks or challenges that I had to do was get sales. That was my job. I actually had to. They wanted me to knock on doors, and I said no. I'm not doing that. So I wanted to keep the job, but I also didn't want to knock doors. So I figured out a way, or I thought about, well, what do I got to do to get sales so I can keep my job? And I learned that people are still picking up the phone to order Comcast. So I figured out how to make the phones ring for another company. Eventually, I realized that there's really a ceiling to working at Comcast, and I thought, well, I can do this on my own. I'd like to figure out how to do this on my own. So I ventured out into figuring out what I could do marketing-wise, and I came across an affiliate link. I was trying to find an apartment, and I applied for an apartment, and they told me to go get my credit report. And I'm like, why do I have to go and get you a credit report? And I looked at the link and it said cj.com. I said, what's CJ? So I went and checked it out. I realized, this is a marketing agency. And I dug a little deeper. I realized this looks like some cool shit. Set up an account, saw something that said pay-per call. Learned a little bit about pay-per call and what they offered, and I realized, hey, I already do this now. Let's see if I can do it. And then, that was my gateway drug into pay-per call.
That's amazing. And let me guess, Craigslist post, is that where you found this?
I didn't do Craigslist post. I did, what did I do? I did directory listings, 4-on-1 and all that when it was still around. Yeah, easy stuff then.
Very cool. I have a lot of industry friends that started this exact way. They saw one of these offers or someone tried to rip them off and they're like, wait a second, people can make money by posting links on the internet? Oh my God, I sound like a top offer. So how did you transition from just learning about the affiliate space in general into actually starting PALO Media? What's the story behind your business?
So I really started to look at what this affiliate world was, and I really tried to figure out how to expand upon it, and I realized I had to start a business around that. So from 2010 to 2014, I was a solo affiliate, just rolling by myself, learning different ways to market, and really just what are online ads and how can I be a master at it. So I just learned different things. I mastered mobile display when it was easy, and so from 2010 to 2014, I was rolling by myself, just a one-man shop, sole prop kind of thing, and then in 2014, I decided this is when I should put a brand on it, and this is when I should really do something bigger than that. So that's kind of the early stages, the BC of PALO before we got there.
I like it. Not enough affiliates actually make the transition from promoting other people's offers to really building a business of substance themselves. And I think it's something that I wish more affiliates would do because it would help our space out a lot, but not a lot of them try to make that transition.
Totally. I agree. Yeah, it's a really good move for most affiliates if they do it.
So what were some of the toughest lessons you learned in those early days?
Man, there are so many.
Which one hurt the most?
Don't give advertisers credit. I mean, that definitely hurt. I would say trying to, well, yeah, don't extend too much credit and trying to do everything yourself. Those were the tough stuff, the tough things that I went through as just a solo man, kind of.
And if you don't mind sharing, what was the biggest hit you took, just to give the listeners an understanding of how bad this advertiser issue can be?
Oh, man. Okay. This is where we're showing our cards now. I would have to say, it's I would say nicely into the six figures.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I've been there, brother. You're not the only one. So we've all had that bad invoice. And it's a great lesson. It teaches us the hard way, like how to deal with those problems.
Yeah, riding a bike and not extending credit. Two great lessons I learned.
That's all you need to know for the affiliate industry, basically.
That's it, bro.
So since you started in 2014, over the last 4 years, how have you seen the industry change in general?
How have I seen the industry change? I've definitely seen a lot more shops pop up. And when I say shops, I mean pay-per-call agencies or pay-per-call players. I've really seen pay-per-call grow to something that's not just niche, but it's actually its own industry amongst the affiliate marketing industry. Before, I would say pay-per-call was just, like I said, a niche within affiliate marketing, but I don't think it's within affiliate marketing anymore. I think it's its own thing. A lot more individuals have showed up. A lot of marketing masters have really stepped into the game, and a lot of companies have really adjusted their business model around calls, not just leads and CPA anymore. So I've definitely seen it come to the forefront of the marketing space, especially digital.
We see the same thing on our platform. Inbound calls are typically things that people pay the most for. Their mortgage, insurance, just things that are very important to them and very expensive. And so we see all categories across the board growing. And so it's a very exciting space. According to a study I read recently, in 2015, $68 billion was spent in the United States alone on generating inbound phone calls. And that money resulted in over $1 trillion in actual commerce. So our space is growing. It's growing very rapidly. And there's a lot of opportunities for affiliates, networks, and just everybody in the value chain. And I know you understand this because you're one of the few guys in the space that tries to bring people together, regardless of whether they're doing business with you or us or whomever, just to create an ecosystem. And so recently we were involved with your Caller Meetup at Affiliate Summit. It went amazingly well. Tell us a little bit about that and what your goals are.
Well, first off, props to you for helping us bring that party to where it needed to be. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I look at the Caller Meetup as really just one asset amongst what the pay-per-call community can do, or one key piece to it. So I noticed going to Affiliate Summit for 8 years that there was party after happy hour with free drinks. Yeah, of course I'm going to go where there's free drinks, but there's never anything that actually brought together a specific group of individuals where they can not only network but have a good time and be centralized. So I first thought of, well, what can be done here and what can be different? And I thought, well, the Caller Meetup can be done. And there needs to be some type of networking event, happy hour, whatever you want to call it, where it brings us all together. So we're not just mixed into a big party where everyone's doing something different and it's really hard to network and you really don't know who to talk to because anyone can do something different. When you go to the Caller Meetup, you meet the legit industry vets, the players in the game. Anyone who's doing calls will be there. Anyone who's serious will be there. And then as well, it really strengthens the industry of pay-per-call, knowing that, yeah, we're not just people mixed in with the crowd at the show. There's stuff going around. There's people who want to get involved. That's just really kind of one brick in terms of the whole house of where I see Caller Meetup going to help pay-per-call, but that's kind of the thought around it. Centralization of the people you want to talk to.
And it was amazing. We were over capacity.
Big time.
The entire time, people were waiting out in the lobby. A guy accosted me in the bathroom complaining that he couldn't even get into the party, which I thought was amazing. And then also, unlike a lot of affiliate events where you're at a club and there's a DJ and loud music and table service, no business can really get done there. You can't create any relationships in a club, not ones that really you remember the next day or matter. And that's what I thought was really unique and cool about the meetup, and why we were excited about being involved, is that you can actually create a relationship. It was in a really nice venue. It was still posh. It was still a lot of fun, but you could actually hear each other talk, and literally everybody in Paper Call showed up for it. Amazing event. Thank you for putting that on. And speaking of which, at that event, I spoke to a lot of affiliates, and they were all at different stages in their career. So they had brand new ones, veterans, and just everywhere in between. And so I'd like to ask you, what is your advice you would give to a new player in the pay-per-call space? What's the best thing they can do to get started and be successful?
That's an awesome question. And I paid that guy to accost you, by the way, just FYI. I would say the first thing, or just one of the bigger things that I'd recommend, is if you want to start a pay-per call, really define what you want to be. So I guess that would mean set a long-term goal. So do you want to be a broker and eventually graduate to a network? Do you want to just be an affiliate? Do you want to be an advertiser? Really just set a goal of what you want to be, put a timeline on it, and then build up your mental assets and your network around that goal. Because if you want to be an affiliate, there's no need for you to start brokering deals to other affiliates. If you want to be an affiliate, learn the hell out of whatever you want to market, and do that. Become a master at being an affiliate. Don't try to do too much at once. Some individuals' plans can change, but if so, make sure you account for that with goals. Put a goal in place, drive towards that goal, and just focus on that. And I think that's what can help, because the affiliate lifestyle can pull you in a lot of different directions. I think if you're just starting out, first define what you want to be in pay-per-call, then set yourself up for success from there. And
what's the biggest mistake outside of focus that you see new affiliates making when they get into the pay-per-call space?
The biggest mistake, let's just use an affiliate, for example. And I guess this goes for a lot, not just affiliates, but trying to be a master of all. I think when I realized when I was an affiliate, I was trying to do everything at once. What I should have done, and what I would recommend for a lot of people to do, is do what you do best and then delegate the rest. So you don't need to be uploading ads. You don't need to be doing keyword research. You can really set the tone of what needs to happen, but if you get to a certain level of where you want to be, or if you don't have a plan in place of how you're going to get a lot off your plate, you're just going to be an affiliate trying to run dozens of campaigns on your own, not being able to scale. And if you really want to be able to scale, I mean, people come to this industry to make money. If you want to do that, build a team. It doesn't matter if you're a network or if you're an affiliate or you're a broker or an agency, whatever it is. A team can always help you scale. So I think figure out what needs to be done, master it, and then pass it off to the right individual. That's how I look at it.
And I think there's a lot to be said for an affiliate that shows up and wants to do business that has a team of people behind them. When you're approached by an affiliate and they have a team of people behind them, I think it's a much more exciting opportunity, because they're taking it very seriously. There's more than one person that's involved. They're not going to be fly by night. They're going to be willing to invest more assets into their business and creating relationships. And I see that as really, really important. The most successful people on our platform have huge teams of people, regardless of what industry segment they're in. And even if you're just starting out new, growing that team can really take you to the next level. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I will note too, like even new affiliates that don't have a lot of funds or resources to work with, a virtual assistant is one of the best investments to make. They're very, very, very cost effective. They know what they're doing. They know they've probably done multiple projects, so they can learn quick. So don't look at, I like to tell people, don't look at, people think the term affiliate is singular. No, affiliate is just an ambiguous term that you can use however you want. Building that team doesn't take you out of being an affiliate. So yeah, props to you.
I like it. And is there a specific skill or set of skills that like really truly helped you become successful?
Really learning and mastering, how do I phrase this? Mastering what I want to do, meaning, do I want to work with affiliates? Well, I got to know how to talk with affiliates and actually speak their language. Do I want to work in like the legal pay-per-call space? Well, I got to put my mind I got to put myself into the shoes of an attorney. How would they grow their business so I can help them grow their business? I would just say educate yourself on where you want to be. If you want to be an agency or a network, educate yourself on who you may or may not be working with. If you want to be an affiliate, master how to buy ads better. Just really, really understanding and learning, because our space is always evolving.
And when those affiliates are working with pay-per-call networks like yours or others, and maybe this isn't exactly self-serving, but what should those affiliates look out for? What are the problems that actually happen by working with a pay-per-call network? And also on the other side of that, how can they leverage a pay-per-call network to actually expand their business? And before you answer it, I just want to preface that I always hear a lot, I don't want to work with networks, I want to go direct. But there are some really good reasons to work with a network and also some really good reasons to go direct. Can you help clarify some of that?
Cool. So I think as, let's just say, a solo affiliate again, or just an affiliate with a smaller team, I think if you want to just be able to buy ads better than the rest, well, that's great, but who are you going to sell those calls to? So one big advantage of working with an affiliate network is that you don't have to do any biz dev. You don't have to do accounting. You don't have to do all the bullshit that gets that gets you into the weeds of chasing bills, really just growing a whole new division of your company. That's one big advantage. As well, if you work with a smart affiliate network who knows media buying, you're not just going to get an you're not just going to, like if you're working direct with an advertiser, you're just going to get knowledge of what their business is. When working with a network that knows their stuff, you're going to get insight into what works, and you're going to get resources that can help grow a campaign that an advertiser can't. And then as well, you have a whole extension of your business, which is a network. So they're going to work for you. If you need an offer, or if you need a certain, let's say, payout for a certain campaign, a lot of the times they can get you a higher payout than going direct would. Now that's not always the case, but it can happen. And they're doing sales outreach for you. They're prospecting. If you're a legit player, if you're a legit affiliate in the space, networks are going to do what they need to do to help grow your business, so you can do less and stick with them. Now, obviously, a disadvantage of working with a network is they take a cut. There could be anywhere from 10 to 100% margin in there, depending on what the campaign is. But yeah, you're not going to get direct pricing. If you're a legit affiliate, knowing what you should and should not be doing, you'll most likely get direct pricing from a network anyway. And then as well, you'll get access to other campaigns too. That's definitely, but that is definitely a disadvantage. There's a network in between taking a cut. I wouldn't say there's too much else when it comes to a disadvantage of working with a network. If you're working with a shitty network, that they may not give you insight into what's working with your calls. So if you're not providing feedback to an affiliate and all of a sudden you got to pause a campaign, affiliates are going to get pissed off because you're not giving them the feedback they want. So there can be a bridge that doesn't work. But I could go on and on with that list. But I think those are the big two categories there.
Well, optionality is important. And I think it's important to also clarify that affiliates don't have to just work direct or just work with networks. They can work with a bunch of different people in the value chain to really build out funnels and businesses, qualify their calls, and figure out how to maximize their yield on every single dial. And that's one of the ways that I think it's important that affiliates really take your advice and learn about the space, learn everything they can about being an affiliate, the offers they're running, and the businesses behind the offers they're running, so they can really optimize those campaigns. Now, we've seen a lot of growth in the pay-per-call industry this year, but what about you? What do you think the biggest opportunity for affiliates in the second half of 2018 is?
I would say the biggest opportunity right now for an affiliate is, well, I would say the growth of pay-per-call. So now that may be a cop-out answer, but the more players you see in pay-per-call, the more competitive it's going to become, and the value is only going to increase for an affiliate. The more competition, the higher payouts will become, the more agencies and networks want to woo affiliates over. I would say just as an industry whole, that's going to be great for an affiliate. As well, I will say too that the access of data is growing in terms of what affiliates can access. Now, a lot of people think, well, oh shit, I'm never going to be able to access my audience again because of what happened, let's say, with Facebook or how Google regulates a lot. Well, that's just a small hurdle. Data is becoming more and more available everywhere. It's crazy. And I think as an affiliate, if you can really figure out where the audience online is shifting and being able to determine how you can access that data will really give you the ability to market to a larger audience and have more leverage when it comes to who you work with. The more calls you can drive, the more power you have. So as an affiliate, just really go where the audience is going and where the data is going and learn how to monetize that. I think that's a really, really good opportunity for affiliates right now.
And on the advertiser side, what do advertisers need to do to really get involved in pay-per-call? And what are some of the benefits that advertisers are seeing in this space versus, say, co-reg or lead generation? Cool.
Yeah, great question. What do they need to do to get in pay-per-call? First, open a call center. Step one. I think when you're going to go into the just the pay-per-call space, and if you're just new to pay-per-call, really learn about what it looks like. It's not just it's not Mary down the road picking up the phone calling into your plumbing business. It's someone online seeking out one of your products and services. So learn about and if this is speaking for digital, learn about where these people come from and try to adapt your business around it. And then I forgot the second half of your question. I'm sorry.
How can advertisers take advantage of the pay-per-call space? How can they use it to really grow their business?
Oh yeah, yep. And I think you also said what's the advantage?
Why is it better than lead generation and co-reg?
Well, first off, 100% contact rate. You don't have to worry about outbounding individuals. You don't have to hope that this lead is valid. You literally have that person on the phone ready, hopefully ready to buy, but you have that person on the phone that's interested. Now all you got to do is close them. Whereas, let's say with co-reg or just normal form fills, anything around that, you have to set up an infrastructure around actually getting them on the phone. So with pay-per-call, you have full contact rate. So it really reduces the amount of resources you have to use to get customers on the phone and close them, and you normally see a higher close rate too. So it's a really easy way to grow your business if you're small, because I will tell you, any advertiser that we work with that can't take more calls because they already have too many, it's probably the best problem to have, rather than having too many leads that are just sitting there that they possibly can't reach out to. So full contact rate is great, and it's just a higher quality lead.
You also can't resell a phone call.
That's very true.
Broker can send that lead out to 40 different people. It just doesn't work that way. So
exactly.
Very cool. Very cool. And so what are some of the differences on the affiliate side for an affiliate, say, coming over from maybe CPA campaigns or just promoting general affiliate offers and moving into pay-per-call? What are some of the things that they need to understand, and maybe some tips and tricks that can help them get started sliding over into this space?
Yeah, great question there. I would say that Black Hat doesn't really work with pay-per-call for some of the. I've talked with some NutriPubs, and they try to apply some of the tactics that they've had with, I don't know, Black Hat cloaking and all that. I mean, it can work to an extent, but it's not going to work with pay-per-call because you're speaking to a live individual. And I guess another big difference is volume. You're not going to see the same type of volume ever that you'll see with CPA or general affiliate offers. So if you're pushing through 1,000 sales a day with pay-per-call, that may mean 100 billable phone calls per day, which is good. So I think just really looking at everything and putting it into perspective of where the scale is, and then the opportunity, it's never going to be as big. And then on top of that, rather than optimizing around just online sales, you have to really optimize more around quality, because with pay-per-call, there's not a lot of like CPA. It's really, you can look at it as CPL just via a phone call. So you have to really look at quality more, or a campaign will crash, unlike just a straight sale offer that is pretty cut and dry. So it takes a more meticulous approach.
And then because of that more meticulous approach, would you say that campaigns have significantly more longevity than a traditional CPA campaign?
Totally, yeah. I mean, going back to why pay-per-call works with an advertiser more, it is the full contact rate. So they can be profitable, they can become more profitable easier, if that makes sense. I keep forgetting your question. I'm sorry, man.
That's all right. I was asking if the campaigns were more sustainable on the pay-per-call side than the affiliate side. Because back in the day, and I mean way back, over a decade ago, when I spun affiliate campaigns, my story is similar to yours, it would be 3 months on, new campaign, 3 months on, and it was a lot of work spinning plates. But I don't see this in pay-per-call. Yeah,
I agree. I don't see that in pay-per-call either. The sustainability is much greater than it would be with CPA. And yeah, because there's that meticulous approach. You have to build a campaign for quality, or your campaign will get shut down fast, because you're literally putting people on the phone. And if there's not a quality call coming in day one, an advertiser will identify that and shut you down. So pay-per-call is an easier way to identify a quality lead over the phone, which lets it last longer than any CPA campaign, in my opinion, ever.
So then the affiliates you see in the space are ones that maybe come over and want to build long-term, sustainable, high-quality businesses that actually have value.
Correct, yeah. You see, I would say that with, I'm not saying everyone in the CPA world is Black Hat at all, no. But I would say that you have to be very, very white hat with pay-per-call, because it will show once they get on the phone. There's literally someone in the call center answering the phone. You're affecting their day right then and there. So that type of feedback is much greater than just, you just sent me a batch of shitty leads, I can't work them, kind of thing. So totally.
And for the affiliates, what type of traffic sources do you recommend, and what type of traffic sources do you see winning in some of your top verticals?
Oh, that's great. I would say it definitely depends on the vertical, but Google search is always going to be the dominant traffic channel for pay-per-call. In terms of just sheer numbers, Facebook also works very, very well. When it comes after that, I would say it really comes down to like display and possibly co-reg. I see co-reg growing big time with a lot of new technology out there, which we also are leveraging some tech that we work on here at Palo to help bridge that gap. But I would say Google AdWords mainly is the biggest driver, followed by Facebook, and then from there it can vary. It's really mixed, where it's display, push notifications. There's a lot of different ways in that channel right there too. But yeah, Google and Facebook.
Very cool. And the types of pages that you're seeing to generate these calls, what are they?
So
without giving too much away, of course.
All right, cool. I won't give the sauce away. I would say with Google, it's definitely more DR driven, sales squeeze page style. with Facebook, big time, it's advertorial. It's going back to the student loan days. It was super advertorial style, but it really just depends on the channel. So direct response squeeze pages are huge for search. Advertorial for Facebook, because if you're gonna engage with someone on Facebook, they're there to really just consume information, and they're going to want to keep consuming. So you can't really take them out of that flow. With Google, they're looking for an instant result. I need a plumber. My house is flooding. Who's going to help me? Click to the landing page. What's that doing? Is it giving me the result I want? No. I'm going to move to the next page. That's kind of the two main drivers I see.
So then affiliates really are going to have to change their mindset a little bit to wrap their head around generating a call versus a conversion, but it's essentially the same thing with higher margins, in fact. I always look at if I talk to an affiliate and if they're trying to figure out a way to build a landing page, I say, well, first, where are you going to market? Is it Facebook? Go on Facebook, go on your feed, and figure out what's taking you out of your news feed somewhere else, and figure out why that happened and emulate that and copy it, because they did something right to get you out of their news feed, which is very difficult. Same with Google. Go on Google. You obviously know what an ad looks like, but figure out something you need. Why did you click that ad? And if you clicked it, what did they do better than the next ad? So put yourself in the shoes. I tell my team to ruin your online experience for the better of PALO. So you can really understand where affiliates are. So their online experience, they're cookied everywhere. It's like a bakery shop. Well, and Facebook just made the world's largest ad spy tool available to the public. You can now go to people's Facebook pages, click on ads and info, and see every single ad that every single page on Facebook is running. So if affiliates can't find ads to run in these spaces now, it's kind of their own fault, which is really an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's pretty easy now, so there's no excuse.
When is the next Caller Meetup going to be?
The next Caller Meetup is going to be in Vegas at Affiliate Summit West. And this time I'm hoping we hit capacity, but not as quick. And I'm going to have to get 2 gentlemen to accost you now because it didn't work the first time. But yeah, I would say look out for the official announcement the next couple months. Caller Meetup will be in Vegas, Affiliate Summit West. It's going to be badass this time too.
Very cool. And if any of our viewers want to come work with PALO Media, what is the easiest way for them to get in contact with you? How do they get started?
So yeah, great question. So I would say go to PALO, PALO mobile.com. If you're an affiliate, just click that sell calls link. And our application it's very simple. You can reach out to me directly. I really don't care. I love talking with any affiliate ever. I'm Anthony at palomediagroup.com. I'm on Skype, Tony Paluzzi. If you can't, I'm not going to spell it out. But I would say the best options are going on the site, palomobile.com, filling out an app, or shoot me an email. I'm always happy to talk shit with anyone.
So thank you very much for joining us today on the Paper Caller Show, Anthony. We know you're very busy. We appreciate your time and all of your insight into the paper call industry.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I had fun. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching the Paper Caller Show. Let us know what you think by joining the conversation and commenting below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. And if you're on mobile, tap the bell. Whether you're new to Paper Call or an industry veteran, we invite you to join the free community at papercallers.com. This episode of Paper Callers is brought to you by Ringba Call Tracking and Analytics. See how Ringba is inventing the future of calls at ringba.com. See you next week.